Imagine entering one of the city's most prestigious hotels, anticipating the regal treatment after establishing a billion-dollar enterprise from the ground up, only to be denied entry due to the color of your skin. That is precisely what transpired to Vanessa Michaels. Nevertheless, she did not retreat in defeat. Rather, she executed an unexpected maneuver. She resumed her position as the proprietor. Before we delve into this profound narrative, please inform us of your viewing location in the remarks section, and remember to subscribe. The day began in the same manner as any other. Vanessa Michaels emerged from her black sedan into the golden glow of the sun that illuminated the streets of Baltimore. She was in her mid-30s, and was dressed in a navy blue suit that was tailored to her keen business acumen. Vanessa was not an ordinary individual. She had dedicated years to the development of Michaels Holdings into a real estate empire that extended across the nation. However, her triumph was not simple to achieve. She had persevered in the face of adversity that others could not even fathom. Today was intended to be a day of festivity. She had reserved a week at the Avalon Hotel, which is considered one of the most exclusive accommodations in the city. However, a peculiar tension developed in her bosom as she ascended the marble sidewalk in front of the stately entrance. She peered back at her assistant, Bethany, who was closely following with their luggage. "You have confirmed the reservation, correct?" Vanessa inquired, her tone composed but tinged with uncertainty. Bethany, who had collaborated with her for more than a decade, offered her a smile of assurance. "3 times verified. Their VIP visitor for the week is you. Everything is flawless." Vanessa returned the smile, but the burden she had endured her entire life, being perceived for her skin color rather than her accomplishments, was never far away. She exhaled deeply and proceeded to the stately entrance of the hotel. The lobby was awe-inspiring, with its lofty ceilings and sparkling chandeliers. However, she immediately felt the gaze as they approached the front desk. The receptionist, a young woman with a manicured appearance, greeted them with a false smile. "Good afternoon. In what way may I be of assistance?" Bethany proceeded with assurance. "We have a reservation under Vanessa Michaels." The receptionist's eyes briefly flickered with discomfort before she commenced typing. Her expression underwent a slight change after a few apprehensive moments. "I apologize, but I am unable to locate a reservation with that name." Vanessa's abdomen contracted. She had been in this location previously, not physically, but in innumerable other instances where she had been treated as inferior. Bethany, who was professional but agitated, continued to speak. "We verified this reservation several weeks ago. Could you please verify this information once more?" The receptionist hesitated before answering the phone, as she was evidently uneasy. Subsequently, a man in a flawless grey suit emerged. "I am the manager, Robert Stevens. I comprehend that there is an issue with your reservation." Vanessa fixed him with her gaze, anticipating the outcome. Robert's tone was tinged with politeness, which appeared to be a ruse to conceal an ulterior motive. "I regret to inform you that there has been a miscommunication. Our suites are entirely reserved. Regrettably, we are unable to accommodate you today." Bethany appeared to be on the brink of a violent explosion. However, Vanessa assisted her by placing a palm on her arm. Over the years, she had acquired the ability to regulate her emotions. She was not going to provide them with the gratification of a confrontation. Vanessa's voice was composed as she replied, "I understand. I am grateful for the time you have given me, Mr. Stevens." She turned and strode out without saying another word, her head held high. Bethany's face was red with rage as she followed. "Vanessa, this is completely insane. We should involve a counsel and contact the press. They are incapable of treating you in this manner." Vanessa halted on the sidewalk, inhaling deeply. "Bethany, I have been engaged in this conflict for the entirety of my life. This is not the first instance in which I have been excluded due to my skin color, and it is likely that it will not be the last. However, I will not engage in a conflict on their terms." Bethany's shoulders sagged. "Therefore, what is our next course of action?" Vanessa's lips curled into a tiny determined smile. "We reunite, locate a new hotel for the evening, and I have additional plans for the Avalon." Vanessa sat at her laptop from a different hotel later that evening, her mind whirling with possibilities. She had consistently been one to transform challenges into opportunities. She was not going to tolerate the Avalon's treatment. She would return to the hotel, but not as a guest. After a week, Vanessa had conducted her investigation, leveraging her extensive business experience and connections. The Avalon was not as impenetrable as it appeared. The hotel's ownership group was struggling to maintain its financial stability, despite its opulent appearance. The ideal objective for an individual such as Vanessa, she contacted her attorney, while seated in a tranquil cafe. We should present them with an offer that is irresistible. The transaction proceeded expeditiously. Vanessa's acquisition expertise facilitated the process, and she had discreetly acquired the Avalon Hotel within weeks. She was not yet recognized as the new proprietor by anyone, including the personnel who had previously denied her entry. Vanessa did not experience any feelings of retribution on the day she signed the final contract. This was not about avenging oneself. It was about a more significant matter. She desired to transmit a message. Change was imminent. Additionally, it would have an impact on the entire industry, not just the Avalon. Vanessa returned to the hotel a few days later. This time I enter the building as its new proprietor, rather than as an unwelcome guest. The receptionist who had previously been employed was still present. The moment she recognized Vanessa, her face turned pallid. Vanessa maintained her composure, as she struggled to articulate herself. Vanessa's intonation was flawless as she stated, "I am not present for a reservation today. I am present in my capacity as the new proprietor." Color was sapped from the young woman's visage. Vanessa refrained from remaining to observe her response. Work was required of her. Vanessa initiated a comprehensive revision of the hotel's operations over the course of the subsequent weeks. She met with the management team, which included Robert, the manager who had dismissed her, and presented her plans. Vanessa stated with a composed yet authoritative tone, "There will be modifications. The Avalon will cease to be a location that discriminates against individuals based on their appearance or background. Every attendee will be warmly welcomed. There will be no exceptions." Robert adjusted uncomfortably in his seat, attempting to substantiate the hotel's exclusive standards. However, Vanessa interrupted him. "Discrimination is not the same as exclusivity, Robert. If this presents an issue for you, I recommend that you seek employment elsewhere." Vanessa's vision for the Avalon began to manifest from that point forward. She employed a more diverse workforce, engaged diversity and inclusion experts to retrain the staff, and guaranteed that all guests were treated with respect, irrespective of their identity or origin. Information disseminated rapidly. The Avalon's accommodations were occupied by new visitors, despite the skepticism of some of the hotel's long-standing patrons. It experienced a significant increase in its reputation. What was once a symbol of exclusion is now a beacon of progress. On one evening, Bethany entered Vanessa's new office while she was standing at the window, gazing out at the city horizon. She was holding a newspaper. "You are required to observe this." The paper was taken by Vanessa, who smiled as she read the headline, "Vanessa Michaels, a billionaire, transforms the Avalon Hotel into a symbol of inclusivity." Bethany smiled. "You successfully completed the task." Vanessa's pride was palpable as she corrected, "We succeeded." However, she was aware that the task was not yet complete. This was not solely about a single hotel. Vanessa had more ambitious plans to revolutionize the entire industry, to guarantee that no individual, regardless of their appearance, would ever be denied the respect they merited. This was merely the beginning. Vanessa was certain of one thing as she peered out at the city: justice does not always manifest itself immediately. However, it is irrefutable when it occurs. She had established an empire through perseverance and diligence, and she was now leveraging that same fortitude to construct something even more formidable, a legacy that would endure beyond her lifetime, a future in which all individuals were granted access to the table. Please share your thoughts on this video in the comments section, and be sure to subscribe for additional content. See you shortly.